Shalom, Israel. My name is Officer Kayadwan out of ISUPK, Jamaica. ISUPK started 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. ISUPK is run by Commanding General GEN.YAHANNA, the one man with the rank and the authority to lead Israel at this time. I say, Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Brakatam to my brothers. Yahweh Shamar Alatan Ba'asham Yahweh to my sisters. Alright, so today we're going to break down, the death of the cult pastor. We are going to run the video, this footage that has been circulated through the internet, we are going to run the video, and we are going to break it down, you understand? And just to tell you that this was expected, you understand? For not the reason that you think, and I'm going to explain shortly, but without further ado, let us just jump into the tape. All right, so there you have it. That's the footage of the cult pastor being taken out of the crash vehicle, you understand, and put on a stretcher. And I must admit, at first, I was suspicious of, how this turned out, thinking that this might be a conspiracy, you understand. But witnesses who were on the scene, civilian witnesses, came out and said that they checked his pulse and they realized that, he didn't have any pulse, you understand, and that his neck seemed to be broken, Those are civilians that had to help to take him out of the vehicle. So, that is possible. You get me, I say? So, let us not be overly, what they call it now, conspirators, or, deep into this conspiracy myth. You have to understand, say, the Most High is in play as well. So we're going to jump to one scripture just to make you understand why, this pastor was, killed by the Most High. And this is the book of Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 1. And this is what it says. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Lord. Woe means destruction. You understand? So this is saying destruction be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture. The sheep of the Most High's pasture is the nation of Israel. And we are so embedded in Christianity right now. You understand? This shouldn't be a shocker that a pastor has come out doing human sacrifices. And as more details come out about the pastor, you see where he was basically extorting his members. Taking their entire paycheck. You understand? Forcing them to pay a late fee if them come late. Just basically finding any kind of way he can make money out of them. You understand? Meanwhile, teaching them nothing that is in the Bible. You understand? Just exploiting, downright exploiting them. And let me tell you something. With the exception of the human sacrifice, this is every church. Every single church. So don't think this will stop. This judgment will stop at the foot of this pastor alone. The rest of you Christian pastors should look out for similar judgment like this, because you have been scattering the sheep of the Most High pastor out as well. You have been devouring the flock. You have been teaching them lies and taking from them when you know they are poor. You understand? You have been pretending to be men of God for so long. Whilst teaching the people nothing that is, written in the Bible. Not telling them that it is important for them to keep the laws of the Most High. You understand? You have been scattering the flock. And the scripture says, woe be unto you. Right? So you can just look out for more destruction to the Christian church and more exposing of the Christian church. Like there is any even more exposure needs to be done. Like, Which leads me to my next scripture. What has the Christian church produced that should make this man so, shocking to all of us? You know what I mean? Let me jump to the book of Matthew, chapter 7 and verse 16. You know what I mean? And this is what it says, Ye shall know them by their fruits. You know what I mean? So we shall know them by the fruits. And what has the Christian church produced? Child molesters, homosexuals. You know what I mean? Every other story about a Christian pastor is about how he raped some child. So we know them by the fruits. Remember, the Christian church is the only institution that have so much cases of child rape, So by that fruit alone, you know that is not in the house of God. You get to me, I say? You shall know them by their fruits. You understand? And this is a judgment of the Most High and this Christian pastor. Don't be so conspiratorial. You know what I mean? Stop, Stop watching those conspiracy theory videos on the internet about human sacrifices. Human sacrifices have been taking place within your own church, just in a different way. You know what I mean? You have been sacrificing your children to these pastors for so long. You know what I mean? And you never bring them out to to face the judgment. So, you know what I mean? Don't be surprised. You understand? All right, we're going to play one more tape though. Now I'm going to make that video too long, isn't it? I'll play one more tape just to show you that this pastor, you know what I mean, just get it out on the brain, say, he's not dead and the government is trying to hide something. You understand? He's dead and this is the judgment of the Most High. The Most High expose him and then the Most High kill him. You understand? The Most High judge him for the evil that he has done. You understand? So, let us just jump to this. Bear with me for a second. Jump to this next audio. It's an audio, not really a tape. Right? And this is a senior policeman, basically, you know what I mean, giving his opinion on what he think took place. And I'm going to explain why this occurred. You understand?
Brother, once a prisoner is being transferred from any parish to a next parish, that prisoner goes under police escort and that prisoner is handcuffed in the vehicle. Nobody not tell me nothing. If the Minister of National Security come out and tell people say this normal, people for stone him. Even when them a prisoner got doctor, they handcuff them. It looked to me like this man in at the back of the vehicle, in a handcuff, and he grab the driver back way, and at that send the vehicle a gully. I wrestle with the vehicle, with the driver. He grab the driver back way. At that happen. Me said the entire senior rank in the police force of St. James to get kicked out of the force because no senior officer cannot authorize a transfer like this. But I'm a transfer prisoner already, If you ever do this in a rehearsal, then kick you out of the force.
All right, so you hear the officer's point, right? He must say, it seemed like, because the pastor was not handcuffed, you understand, he was wrestling with probably the driver or somebody, the vehicle get out of control and it crashed. Well, we can't confirm that, but what we can confirm is how they were treating the pastor. You know what I mean? This man was responsible for the death of 2 of his members, You understand? And he was not seen in handcuff. You know what I mean? There's another tape where he was in the station being, jeered by the police, and he was not in handcuff. He looked well comfortable sitting on a chair. And the reason for this is the love and respect that society really gives to these Christian pastors. And this is the very reason, why they get away with even molesting your children. You know what I mean? Even though this man was responsible for the death of 2 of his members, right? And rob and exploit, he was basically a criminal, You understand? He still got the privilege of not wearing a handcuff. You know what I mean? And this officer who made this voice note had a good point by saying because he wasn't in handcuff could be the reason why the car crashed. You know what I mean? It's clear that this pastor was a schizophrenic, you know what I mean, without a shadow of a doubt, you know what I mean? And you can't put it past him that he would probably try to escape. You understand? So, and that's the very reason why, you know what I mean, they get away with so many things because, you know what I mean, we give them the benefit of the doubt because they claim to be men of God, when in fact, they are just regular criminals. You understand? But however, you know the thing already, just tell me what you think, leave in the comments in the comment section, you know what I mean? Whether or not you feel him dead for real, if it's a conspiracy. You know what I mean? We don't consider this a conspiracy, but a judgment from the Most High, you know what I mean? Because of what he was, you know what I mean, teaching and what he has done to the children of Israel, as do all these pastors in some way, shape, or form. So remember to like the video, subscribe, pay on the tithes. You know what I mean? Stop making a pastor take on an entire paycheck and charge enough to be late. Rather, pay on the tithes to the real priests and prophets in the ISUPK and the commanding general, your honor, because guess what? We don't buy big houses. You know what I mean? Have 1, 2, 3 houses and big vehicle. You know what I mean? With your tithes money. What we do is feed our people. And with that, I say shalom.